Come on, JR.
Well, that was me. Old habits die hard. What's up?
Clearly, I didn't have time to edit the intro and stuff because it still says Thursdays. I didn't even think about that.
This is how
And
we
sometimes JR. Oh,
Good stuff.
I got burned on the opening. Holy crap.
What's up, you guys?
What is going on, everybody?
Unjustly at that.
It's so good to be back. So good to see your smiling faces. I missed you guys.
Man, I missed you guys like crazy. I didn't even know how much it was going to be until it was. I missed you guys. So happy to be here.
Amen.
I mean, I saw Rudine in DC.
I was so jealous. I'm just going to throw it out there. I was jealous.
That was a good time.
Man.
We were roommates.
Room dogs.
Nice. Man, I love it when I see you guys out doing stuff like that. I really want to be focused and intentional on becoming a little more involved in stuff like that, and moving forward this next year. It's just been a lot to try to get done.
So how's your business going there, LC?
Man, well, we've had some really, really great ups. One of the greatest ups of the whole year is my son came back home from Seattle, and he's working with me now, and we're in kind of a slow season because we're in a very seasonal place where we live, and we're getting some like massive colds like everybody, but like it'll go back up to 70. We're in one of those climates where it's cold one minute, hot the next. So we're in kind of one of those seasons in this business. It's kind of a famine season, but everything we need always shows up. But we're getting ready to go into a big summer. I'm grateful to have him back here. I'm grateful that we healed our relationship since 2018, and just proud of the young man he is, and looking forward to really building the business with him in 2024. So it's going really great, man. I got no complaints.
Awesome. Amen.
So who's next?
Lots of highlights, lots of things have happened. It's been a grip since we've been on the air, you guys. So
yeah.
I don't know what you think, you guys. Should we just like take turns and do a little updates?
I think so.
I think so.
Let's start with the top.
Brett Morris.
Oh,
yes.
Me? Who, this guy?
Yes.
Okay. You might be able to tell that I'm in a different. Well, I guess you can't really tell because I have the blur effect on. But my family and I recently moved to the beautiful state of sunny Florida. So we are still in the process of unpacking and setting up, and I'm glad you guys pushed me to get part of this room unpacked because I didn't even have my podcast gear set up.
Nice.
So I'm not like completely fully happy with how my computer and everything's set up right now, but it's functional. So I'm glad to be here. Yeah, it's been an interesting year to say the least. We were talking about it before we went on the air. There's been ups and downs and a lot of blessings, but also there's been some difficult moments, some difficult situations that have come up throughout the year. So, glad to have a fresh start in a new state. And, I'm a little closer to Ashley now. We're still, I think, 7 hours apart or something. I didn't realize how big Florida was, but we're enjoying it so far.
That's awesome, man.
Sweet.
So awesome.
Nice.
How's the baby?
Oh man, the babies are doing really great, man. They're both growing so much. The youngest one just turned 1 a couple days before Christmas, and then our other one's going to be 3 coming up here in a couple weeks. So they don't slow down.
Oh man, time flies.
It sure does. Gosh, it does. Seems like we were just looking at her freshborn pictures and welcoming her into the world. Gosh, that's just how fast time flies.
Right? Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you kind of already started, LC. What do you? What else you got? What else has gone on in the last year or so?
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been so for I utilize a lot of tools in my recovery and just daily growth practices and life. And one of the tools that I utilize is I really like to study like the way the planets shift around. Not really the little ones because that happens all the time, but like big major shifts in planetary energy. And I've been in this whole journey for me started 15 years ago when my grandparents died. All of a sudden my best friend died. Like it was a shakeup, and there was a certain shift that happened at that time. And so it actually shifts out next week. And so this last year for me has just been all of the lessons and the big transformations that have happened over these last 15 years, including my recovery journey and even my transitioning journey. I mean, there's been so much death and rebirth in my life over the past 15 years that this last year has been a big exposure, a big press on me to become really peaceful in the storm. And in order to learn to do that, you got to have a lot of storms. But everything, I have to say, everything that I set out for, my intentions for 2023, they all ended up coming in. We did end up buying a new place to live. That was a big focus for me in 2023. Our living condition had gotten kind of unsafe. We had some leaks and stuff. So, so many things happened. And at the same time, they were balanced with chaos. And so I got to make a choice. So just honing in, utilizing those tools, hanging on until next Wednesday, and looking forward to 2024 being what shows me all of the work that, I've put in, that shows the strength and the courage and all that I've hopefully put out. So we'll see. I just had my 50th birthday last week, and and I was
Nice.
standing there, thank you, in a
You do
surreal
not
moment.
look 50, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. My own son
Buddy.
told me that, and you got to trust the kids, and I'm so appreciative of that because what I put my body through, man, I should look like one of those memes, you know what I mean? Like one of those real bad ones. But
Yep.
on my 50th birthday, I was taking a photo shoot for an article that was featuring me in our city's paper. And I thought to myself, on my 25th birthday, I was in a two week coma from an overdose. On my 30th birthday, I tried to commit suicide. On my 50th birthday, I'm standing here featuring to give somebody hope for the life that I've lived. It doesn't come full circle like that often in our lives. And so I'm so grateful for that and for recovery and for going through the lessons. It's amazing. And I'm grateful to be here with y'all so much.
Oh man, I love the comparison that you provided us to give us that picture of. I mean, this is the way I spent a couple birthdays, and now look at how I spent this birthday. Like
Yeah.
the absolute polar opposite. Like, yes, dude.
Yes. And
Yeah,
if I
the
can do it,
magic of
anybody can.
recovery. Yeah,
Yes.
you're amazing, bro.
Love you.
Love you.
I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. 2023 went by like a blur. So I'll just hit on a few areas. I moved down to Costa Rica and at the end of 2022. So I've been here just over a year now. I was working with Costa Rica Recovery. I have to give them a shout out. Amazing place, amazing people, amazing staff. I've got to watch the miracle happen in so many people. Like the one guy that commented earlier, he was he's one of my guys, and just seeing him blossom in his life and just hitting the ground running. I mean, he's like one of our best employees, or one of their best employees now. So
Wow.
I mean, it's amazing, working in treatment, but it's also tough. It's, I mean, working, every day going there, seeing people. I mean, that's tough. My anyone working in treatment, you have my utmost respect because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that's a job. So 2023 has been pretty busy. Pretty much just changed my whole life to come down here to be part of something, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do it. It was a year of growth for me because I've celebrated my 6 year of sobriety in November 10th, and it's
That's
yeah, it's been a experience. I mean, I wanted to spend my 5th year talking less, listening more. So I kind of
uh,
took like last year off. If you guys didn't notice the little burn on the intro, and sometimes JR.
That's been there for a while. Shows how often you show up.
Oh! I was working a lot, man. But yeah, it's been great. I mean, Costa Rica is an amazing country. It's 70, 75 degrees here every day. I live in San Jose, so I'm in the middle of the country. But the beaches are beautiful. The nature, seeing it, the howler monkeys.
Oh man.
It's definitely I definitely recommend it to anyone that if you're looking for like a sober vacations or visit, put it on your bucket list. Come to Costa Rica. I mean, I also want to give a shout out.
I'll come and stay on your couch.
I know, right?
Hey, my couch is open. It's only like 4 foot long, but I have an
It'll
air
fit me
mattress.
perfect.
Sounds
do
like you
wanna
need to
give-
buy a bigger couch.
That's right, Ashley. Ashley Grimes in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Woohoo!
Woo!
I do
Glad
want
you
to
came.
ask. Hey, I do want to ask for prayers for Brian Smith. He's in ICU in Indianapolis right now. He'll be celebrating his first year of sobriety on January 28th. So it's
Wow.
amazing. thing.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
Prayers for him,
up.
and that's a day before my son's birthday too.
Oh wow.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, just watching people change. That's a blessing. We talk about how difficult the year is, but then we look at the little blessings that are
Yes.
sprinkled in, and it makes it all worth it.
So does. So does.
Just being with you guys again and chopping it
Yes.
up.
Yes.
I really did miss the interaction because coming down here, my whole support system was stateside, so I'm having to start from ground zero, and I was working so much. It's like it was intense, but I like it here, so
That's
it's
awesome.
it's a little bit easier on my mental health.
See, I love that you focus in on that too and really do what it takes to make that a priority, because that truly is just a priority. It's worth it for your mental health. It really is.
Right. And we'd have long-term sobriety, and then when you pick up and put yourself in another area like Brett, cross country, and then you're in a new environment, new community, that's a little struggle on the mental health.
Yeah, for sure. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
With that, I will pass it to Mr. Redeem.
Oh,
Hey.
hi. What's
Hey.
up? I missed you all so much.
Missed
I
you.
really, really love you guys, and I'm excited. I hope it works out better this time, and we can carry on for many moons to come with this
Yes.
show, dude. So I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody had already been filled in that I got engaged, but thank you. But now I've been. Yes.
Nice.
I have also been now living with my fiance and her daughter since June, and just working, man. The career's going good. The savings are stacking up a little bit, and I'm still kind of in the process of looking for a home for us, a different home, a bigger home where there's more room for everybody. And then But yeah, I
What's
don't
up,
know. This
Brett?
year, yeah. And this year has been a year where I've had to really um, get back to basics a little bit. I've had some periods this year where, just this, with the family, with just life in general. And I don't know about you guys, but I get the seasonal, depression type stuff going on uh, every year. So I've had to up my meetings and up my service work, and I've been blessed to. Well, I always say it's a blessing to have that gift of self awareness in this recovery where
Yes.
I can recognize this stuff and I know
Yes.
what I need to do. Like what works for me. That's key. And I'm really I've had some moments, dude, where I've been so proud that I've been able to kind of observe the situation without judgment and see it for what it is and take the time to think and provide thoughtful responses to life and as a result things have been going very smooth even through the rocky stuff or whatever. So grateful for that, man. I mean, it's just been some really illuminating moments where I've seen the growth and the fruits of the work that I've been putting in for these last 8 years. You know what I mean? And I am grateful for that. And it gives me hope for the future. Like I want to be not only it, I used to say like, I just want to have a healthy relationship, but now I know, I can see why it's important that, I like lead my family and as a result of my recovery, like I can actually observe myself doing that, like in a healthy way and making hard moments, teachable moments, not only for them but for myself as well. And it's a beautiful thing, man. And God, who'd ever thunk it, that I'd be able to do that.
Right.
It used to be if somebody was losing their shit, having a mental breakdown or something with me, I didn't know what the fuck to say, and
Yeah.
now I'm able to like, let's look at this, objectively and let's really unpack it and and be able to help not
It's
only
amazing.
talk them down, but actually help process through some really hard things that maybe needed healed or that, and we just understanding each other better and grow closer as a result of those things. So there's
Amazing.
been a lot of those cool moments. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing this year for what it is. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to all the, you know, whenever it's an election year,
Yeah.
man. I'm going to be so sick of political ads by the time fall comes around.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
right now I have a healthy interest in it, and that's good. And it's because it's good to be informed, but
Yeah.
it gets
It
to a
is.
point where you just hear the shit so much, you're like,
Right.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Take it in like doses, just enough to
Mm.
be aware, but not enough to seep inside my spirit. You know what I mean? Just
right.
not
Which
enough to let it go
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to definitely put that self awareness to use for that. That's
Yeah.
for sure. So, AG, what's up with
Thank
you? What's been going on? You got the biggest news, I think, out of anybody around
you.
here, pretty much.
AJ.
Oh, really?
Wah, wah, wah.
I, I feel like every year of recovery is like different, like in a big way, like the first year was like getting my ground, and grounding myself. And then like year three was like, I don't know, I struggled a lot year three and year five. And then, I'm going into year seven and I'm like thinking, I think I can do this, like it's um but there's still like a lot of hard times, but there's so many good times too, and I think that that's like what keeps me being okay, cuz like I can tell you in 2023 there was several days where I would hear about an overdose, or I'd hear about somebody that would lost to suicide, and I would just sit in my bathroom and cry and be like, God, do you just have me here just to watch more people die? Did you just save me to watch people die? And but the longer the year went on, and the more people that I was able to touch and to be able to tell my story to, and them to say that my story mattered to them, I was like, okay, this is why I'm here. Like, we're here just to save just one. We're not here to save the world. That's not our job. And I think that as the year went on and there became just, those just one more, and just it totally changed my thinking and my mental place. And I haven't sat in the bathroom and cried in at least 6 or 7 months. So there's there's that. And there's days I feel like I'm not making a difference, but most days I do feel like I am. And so um I think that a big thing too, if I want to talk about 2023, is I really gave it all into talking about mental health and how mental health really affects substance use disorder, and how you have to have both to be a healthy individual. Before that, it was mainly just an SUD advocate. And so I think those are the things that really changed. Um, to me, the awards aren't what matters. It's the people that matter. So um, I've met so many amazing people, just like everyone on this screen. Sorry, my picture's not up here. I don't feel very good, so I'm just trying to make it through without throwing up. So, but I'm so glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to 2024 because, like I said, each year on this journey seems to like be different. And so, you grow so much. And I think my biggest lesson, if you want, not everyone's giving.
Did we lose Ashley?
I don't hear her.
Oh no.
Well, hopefully she comes back.
I hope so, because she was fixing to say something really profound.
I mean, I'll go again if you guys want, man.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
You're
Noah.
muted, Jason.
Ashley's so humble.
I know.
But listen, okay, so in the last year,
Tell it, Jason. Tell it.
She has still been, the
Can you hear me?
co-executive director of the NAMI Florida. In the last year, whatever, since she's been a part of that organization, she has brought organizational efficacy, growing the organization's budget from $20,000 to $800,000, and recently stepped up as interim executive director. Under her leadership, NAMI Florida has now a full-time staff of 5 and a team that runs programming across 36 Florida counties, including peer, family, and workplace offerings, support groups, educational programming in schools, and partnerships with law enforcement. Ashley is a boss. She was featured in a list of 40 under 40, the highest rising stars in political and public service in the state of Florida just recently. So I wanted to hype you up a little bit.
That's
Ashley,
right.
Superstar.
I love your humility, but look at all that amazing progress that has been made.
Yes. Own it, AG.
That's right.
Well, what I was gonna say before I got cut off is I was like, I've learned that lapses don't mean that you have to, use substances or whatever. Lapses can be a lot of different things, and their behaviors before they become, So like, have I picked up in almost 7 years? No. But have I doubted myself? Have I had imposter syndrome? Have I thought I wasn't helping? Have I sat in my bed and not gotten out of my bed for a couple of days? Yeah. So just because you're doing those things doesn't mean that you can't be successful and and be, you know, what you're meant to be. Just give yourself a little bit of grace because
Mm. But I
yeah.
think I could probably safely speak for all of us that like join the club. You know,
Right.
we've all
Yeah.
we all
Absolutely,
have
yeah.
we all
Yeah.
have those moments, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
And I
and
think there's a point to that too, Ashley, that even whenever if you're on the outside looking in at somebody that you admire, I think it's important to know that they are having human emotions as well. So
Mhm.
I appreciate that openness there, Ashley, because
Yeah,
that's true.
thank
You
you.
could look at that article and think, "Oh, this girl doesn't suffer. She's got it. She doesn't go through all of this." And yet, you have the honesty to share that. So it's all in what we
Mhm.
perceive, what we're looking at, to think that other people aren't suffering. We're in this together and nobody's alone.
I feel like if I got offered and stepped up to do the same thing that Ashley had that opportunity and stepped into those roles, I would have probably been having panic attacks, dude. Like,
Yes.
I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
whole nother level of
Yeah.
advocacy. That's national
Yes.
level. And
Yes.
wow, like I would have been freaking the fuck out.
Yes.
I know I would. I
it
know I
was
Absolutely.
would.
it was terrifying because it's one thing to tell your story out loud, and it's another thing to tell your story in a room or, but it's another thing to tell your story where it's in print, where it's going to be there forever. My kids can look it up one day,
Mm,
but I'm going to tell you how many people came up to me at that award ceremony and were like, we just wanted to meet you because of the fact your story is so amazing. And
mm.
I'm like, okay, here they are including lived experience on this list. How often does
Yes.
that happen?
Yes.
And I'm
It's
like,
amazing.
Yes.
so that was like it was so exciting because they were openly, including lived experience.
Yeah. Acknowledging.
In
Yes.
Florida.
Yes.
That
Yes.
and I mean we could talk about, the states and the difference, but in Florida that's a hard thing.
Yeah, it's hard here
Amazing.
in North Carolina. I think it's very hard in the South in general, and I don't know any other place, but I know, like for us in the southern states, it's sometimes that stigma is a lot harder for them to recognize or see. Congratulations on that, Ashley. That's
Well,
kicking down
thank you.
doors. That's kicking down
And
doors for others.
and for
Well,
being
thank you.
brave, like good job.
Yes, yes, that's a lot of responsibility, Ashley.
Oh, and it's it's scary because you're like, well, and you like my whole thing started out with, perfectionism and having to be perfect. And I'm like, am
Mm,
I am I going full circle? But then being able to be authentic and humble and be able to say, hey, I've had those days when I'm crying in my bathroom and I've had those days when I thought I was an imposter. So like I don't think I'm going full circle. I think it's just part of the journey.
Mhm.
mhm, mhm.
Yep.
Wow,
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
Did
So
Brett get to talk yet?
Yeah,
I
he
did.
kicked us
Oh, I
all.
missed you.
I was the first one to go.
Repeat.
mhm.
If
Ashley
AG
missed it.
was on time, she would have got it.
Well,
No.
I told you I wasn't coming and I came, so I was
Yes.
shocked.
Yes.
So you're welcome.
Sometimes I wonder why I'm paying some of y'all.
Wait,
Oh,
I haven't got my check.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Where's
ever.
where's
don't you
where's the
worry.
check?
Ever.
It's in the mail.
Oh, I'll take money, dude, if you want to send me.
Anytime.
But I'm not
Anytime.
doing yeah.
I'm a poor college student now, man. I am unemployed according
Oh,
to the
wow.
U.S. government.
How scary is that? I mean, is that kind of scary to be
No, not
unemployed?
really. I'm comfortable. I mean,
Good.
I'm 80%
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
VA rated, so
Good.
doing
Okay.
enough on
Yes,
basic
thank
needs.
you,
I'm not
Jimmy.
a
Good.
bougie type of guy. I'm kind of simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like you're
Simple.
quiet.
Yeah, I'm shy. I'm the shy guy on the set.
Yeah.
So did you guys want to talk about some of these stories that have been happening lately? And we talked about.
Am I supposed to have the video ready for that?
Oh, do
Because
you
I,
have it ready?
I don't.
I love
Well, we can just talk about it.
Congratulations, Brandy. For the
Yeah.
people that are
Yay,
watching,
Brandy.
for the people that are watching from my Facebook page, it doesn't let me comment back to you, but I see you guys and thank y'all so much for being here and chilling out and hanging out. Jimmy, Brandy, Maddie, love y'all.
Yeah, I tried to comment to something and it kicked me off, so I'm not touching any buttons.
Right.
But did you guys want to talk about it, or did you want to wait till?
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
I set that 30-minute timer like we talked about, and it's about to go off. I don't remember what we were gonna do.
Oh, we're
after
gonna
the
let
timer
people
went off.
call in at 30 minutes
Because we
and
got
ask
1
us
minute left on the
questions.
timer.
So why don't we
Yes.
give the phone number and let people call in and ask us questions?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Let me make sure it's still set up. See, I didn't prepare very well for this.
It's okay. It's the first one.
I love Ashley. It's
JR.
okay.
JR fell out. See?
And if
At least
nobody
you didn't
calls, we'll
fall
ask
out.
each other
He's out.
questions.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime,
Oh,
before you
apparently
do
my
that,
Google
Jason-
Voice number is no longer active. So hold on, let me set up a new
No.
one.
All right.
It's
Well,
been
I'm
that
just doing
long.
them with. Let's ask each other questions.
That's so cute.
And now I
I know.
have a Florida area code.
Ah,
Instead of my Dallas
Is it an
area code.
850?
It is an
you're a real
850.
Floridian.
I feel
You're-
like it. Well,
Did
it's
you
a
guys
Google
hear the
Voice number.
politics
How
today?
real Floridian am I?
If you want to talk about politics, did you hear about the big politic news today out of Florida?
What?
Yes, yes.
I did
read
not.
it. DeSantis. dropped
DeSantis.
What?
out.
He dropped out?
out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So that's the big politic news of the day.
Boom.
How do you feel
We got a
about
new
that?
we got a new Google Voice number. Let me make sure. Oh, hold on. It's not quite set up. Hold on 1 second, guys. Don't call in just yet.
Dude.
Brett has the
What?
greatest radio voice and podcast voice on earth.
Does.
You should
hold on.
use
I'm
that.
taking that off because I don't know if this is gonna work. Verify. I did.
So what
This
don't we
number
ask?
can't be used. Sign in with a what? Then what's my Google Voice number?
All right, I'll ask JR a question.
Okay.
Do you
Wait.
miss the States?
I do miss the
Stateside.
state. I am on exile to Costa Rica for the near future.
Because of your commitment to school now, you're grounded there.
Yeah, let's go with that.
No,
I was
because
just
he's got a girlfriend and he's grounded there. She's got him on whips and chains.
whips and chains. Sounds hot.
Wow.
Oh, hey, this is a PG rated show.
It
So
is.
then what am I doing on here?
Right. Better put a 13 on the
you
back of
fucked
that.
up. You fucked up. Put me on here.
What about
All
LT?
right.
How's your back doing after falling?
I am doing so much better. I mean, it's almost unrecognizable. It's getting to the time that it only really bothers me is at a certain point in the mornings that I can't sleep past. So, I've done a lot of big changes. I did some medication changes this year and man, tried to do some health changes and moving past all of that and so it wakes me up in the morning and then after that I've been really doing well to the point that I don't even really think about it. And I've got a job coming up. It's interesting because this is going to be a job that's got some really tall ladders to it and I swore I wouldn't do anything else. But it's coming up and I think it's asking me to face the fear and be really diligent. And now that my son works with me, we'll be really, really diligent on safety and how much that's important. You know, you think you do something quickly and no, you know, nothing will ever happen, and then it happens, you know. And so now that my son's working with me, I'll go that extra mile to make sure everything's safe. So I learned a lot from it, and I'm grateful that it's all healed up in the way it is, you know.
Yeah.
So thanks for
Well, I'm
asking,
glad to hear
Ash.
that. Back pain sucks, dude.
Man, it's just struggle. Like you can't breathe. You can't, you know, it's weird and laying there. And I was really, really grateful that there wasn't a lot of, like, I did not have intrusive thoughts of opioids, you know, in that time. You know what I mean? Like, I think that things always happen for a bigger reason, and that there are always times that can show us how far we've come. And y'all spoke about that, you know, this already tonight. We have these opportunities to see how far we've come, and just recognizing them, having that awareness to recognize those, and just think about how grateful you are that, you know, because gosh, there was a time when that would have either kicked off a relapse, that would have been something that, you know, inherently you just keep going so you could just keep getting more and more and more and all of that. And I just found that, you know, that I was okay, you know, like I was really, really okay. And in all honesty, I had told myself for so long that that you had to have something like that for pain of that level. And really, it wasn't that way, and I felt really good about that. I felt really good about taking that in stride and not having that struggle. It was really interesting, really, really interesting. But that's just, yeah, gave me like, I don't think about using all the time. It's not my first thing anymore. I think it's valuable to get to a place where you recognize that, so that people know that at some point, you know, it's not going to be as intrusive as it may seem right now, that, you know, and relapse is just over your shoulder. I think you can get to a place if you do the work and the work, and, you know, create your program and get your legs under you. You know, Ashley brought up how different the years are, and it's so true. They have their big themes, you know, and so for anybody in year one, it gets better. It gets better. Just keep going.
Tanya, man, I couldn't agree with you more. It's a constant evolution, and you know, more will be revealed, as they say. I mean, the things that I'm dealing with today wouldn't have even been on my radar, and if they did pop up on my radar, I would have probably been like, I would have had a different skewed perception of it, right? Like I would have been like, well, there's no point in trying to learn how to talk about anything with that person because they this and they that, and instead of knowing like we can have a hard conversation and discuss ideas and like come to a deeper understanding if you're willing to listen to each other, you know what I mean? It's like
It's amazing. Yeah.
communication is such a huge thing that I've had to work on in my recovery. Like communication is probably one of the hardest things that I had to work on.
With you.
But I think with this year, you know, and how it's really like brought a lot of blessings in those relationships, you know, like in my fiance's oldest daughter, she's in college, she's a college student. She has opened up to me like a lot this last year. Like it's amazing. And you know, it used to be before I was lucky to get 2 words out of her. So, and then, you know, with her youngest as well, and trying to establish that I am a father figure, you know, I think it helps that I moved in, but it's still work, you know. If I go out of town for a week for work, I come back and it's like we took 10 steps backwards and you got to grind back on that, you know, axe some more. to get it going good again. But it's a constant process, and I just try to stay calm and patient through anything that life throws at me today. And whoever knew I had calm or patience within me to begin with, I never used to. So, hey, Brett, I got a question for you, man.
Hey, what's up?
Like, you know, at the beginning of the show, you said how grateful you were that we kind of gave you the push you needed to unpack part of that room and get your podcast stuff. But now, how does it make you feel? Are you even more excited that you get to, like, you know, you got some more things to fine tune about your setup, about the room? You're gonna have to get that back wall like recovered out and all pimped with the lights.
I don't know
You're
how
gonna
far.
build-
I don't know how far I can take it because for right now, this is also my youngest daughter's room, so I don't know how much recovery stuff I'm going to put on the walls at the
So
moment.
you're not gonna build a bell stand or nothing for us?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't take it with me, so I don't know what's going to happen there.
Whoa.
Well, I got nothing but faith in you, bro. I just wanted to give you a hard time, but I thought you really had a pretty cool little setup.
He had the
going
best
on
setup.
I appreciate that.
The best
Yeah.
setup. I so loved your setup. Envious of that setup.
Yeah, dude.
Love it.
So I thought you had your own office space. I assumed. I'm sorry.
See?
Well, so I think so. The setup we had before was the baby was in the room with my wife and I, and then when we moved, we put her in her own room. But we're hoping that once she gets a little bit older, that both of the girls will share a room, and then this will become the office permanently. But for right now, it's the baby room / office.
Yeah, because you don't want to wake up the 3-year-old when the baby's waking up in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the thought process there. But we're hoping once she gets a little older, they can do cohabitate and share a room. So we'll see what happens. I'm not having any success on this call-in thing. When I'm trying to register a new phone number, it's telling me that I still have a Google Voice number, but I can't seem to find any Google account that has access to that number. And I just tried to do Skype, and it's not working. So I guess we're not going to do a call-in tonight.
Oh,
You know,
I
I
have
think-
my phone ready.
I think that this could be good for like a shorty, you know, a catch up, and we just realized like 100 things that we need to change because we weren't really ready. You know, like we needed the test run. So we're gonna bring you guys like such a sweet ass polished product next time, dude. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
Oh
it's
yeah.
gonna be sick.
There's
Hey,
my
what-
favorite sound.
What do I do with my hands?
Are we gonna tell people our new schedule? Because I didn't even update the intro, so it still says Thursdays. I didn't even think about that at
And
all.
What are we
sometimes
agreeing on,
JR.
And
Well,
sometimes JR.
JR stays.
Bi-weekly
With my
Sunday
internet.
nights.
My internet's kind of spotty, if you guys haven't noticed.
It's all good. Bi-weekly Sunday nights, 6:30 p.m.
First
Central
and
time.
third. First and
Central
third.
time.
First
Yeah,
and
first and
third.
third.
I guess I need to
So
put my head
that
up
might,
here, but-
yeah, because there might be a month of the year where there's 5 Sundays. So that would be like a bi-week or something like that.
How about we
First and
figure it out when
third.
it happens? I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this year it's not going to have 5 Sundays. Maybe this year it's just going to have like 5 Tuesdays. I don't know. Whatever.
Have no
It's
calendar
first and
on this.
third Sundays.
First and third.
And man, it's gonna be cool because now that we're gonna kind of change the format a little bit, you guys. So we're gonna try to bring up, you know, the latest in recovery news from around the country or the world. JR had a really swell idea, and I think it's a really great idea. And it'll give us all the opportunity to kind of do some show prep beforehand and really try to pull some good information. And I think that also keeps us engaged in learning about what's going on in the world of recovery advocacy,
Yes.
not just our own advocacy and our own little spheres of influence that we're in.
Yeah.
It'll help us all broaden our horizons as well. I think it could be really fun to address some of those issues and topics and stories on the air with you, the listening audience. So.
The more
And,
you know,
and
the more you grow.
you'll be able to call and stuff because Brett's gonna get that figured out for real.
Yeah, I'll get that figured out by the next time we're live.
I was hoping to be our first caller.
I guess I didn't understand when Ashley said take questions from the audience that she meant call in. I thought she just meant like in the chat, so I didn't even check the.
Well, that works too, but
It does.
it is fun to hear their voices. You notice that
Yeah.
people are they're so much more into the text thread. They get
Yes.
like they instantly freeze up when it comes to calling on air. Like, oh my God, dude, you guys don't worry about it. It's just us. And it ain't like you got 1 million people viewing this.
Right.
I mean, it might
Right.
be a lot after a while once it's been released online, but live is usually like, I don't think we've topped out more than like 40 people at the most. Like, it's not, don't
Not
be
yet.
scared.
I totally spaced out earlier. I forgot that I used to share it to like 20 pages. So I was
Uh-huh.
trying to do that when we started off. I was like, how do I share it?
It's been too
Yeah.
long, man.
I'm
That's,
feeling rusty. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know completely. I
but
got
this
to when
is
I
good.
came back. It is because when I took my break from Recovery Soul Food and came back, I really had to take an ego break because I started noticing some stuff within my own self, like when the algorithms and stuff started changing. Because I worked really hard to build the platform, and there was a spot that I was getting in where I was starting to avoid like working on myself and working on the platform. And I started noticing when I slipped over, it was an ever so slight slip, but you could feel it when the numbers started changing, the algorithm started changing, and I thought, oh, what's that? Like that can't live there because that's a sneaky little something that'll show up. And so coming back in this past year and starting Recovery Soul Food again, like sometimes I'll get 5 people, and it's like I'm so happy with that because those 5 people, they're here for this. You know what I mean? And it
Yes.
was, I'm so grateful I went and did that work, and then get to come back and sit with you guys because it's such a different thing. I think that happens, especially new creators in on the recovery online space. And like I say, JR and I have been here for a long time and saw a lot of this come along. And so I've seen this happen a lot where you get that moment in your recovery where you find a purpose and you want to share that purpose, and you all and inevitably the platform grows, and then it can become an addiction that we don't even realize we've slipped into. We've slipped from
Mhm.
this one space, and now we're searching for validation, and it's easy to get, but it's also easy to lose. And
Yeah, absolutely.
the internet's very, very shaky, and they'll love you one minute and they'll hate you the next, and you'll never know what's coming. And I think that I've seen more than I would want to of people that just ended up just having that dream crushed and starting into relapses. And so I think that's something to keep in mind when we get our purpose and we want to jump in, that we got to make sure we're really surrounded by people that are willing to call out what they see. If they see, like if I had somebody that was calling me out at that time saying, I think I'm seeing some shadow work, and if it wasn't for my friend Martin John, I may not have even seen it. It would have gone on, and it was just starting to feel, kind of dense. So I think that's important for people, for new creators, because they're coming out every single day. Just remember, if you are gathering the way that you feel good by the numbers that you have, just understand that those numbers change. And if you notice your own worth changing, then get a hold of that stuff because it's in a false place.
Yep. I
Yeah,
always say it.
absolutely.
One of the best blessings, plus simultaneously the hardest parts of recovery, is to get the self awareness we have today.
Yes.
So you have to be true to yourself, and if you
Amen.
notice that, uh, you gotta address it right off the bat. Don't fuck around because it's a
Yeah.
slippery slope. You know,
It's a sleeper. Yeah.
yeah, like your worth is not decided by external people, places, or things. It's just not, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. When I mentor people in my own community, I try to I try to convey that same message, because inevitably, whatever journey we're going through, if we're headed towards the highest and best version of ourselves, then we're on a recovery journey. So, people in my community, when I work with people that feel that way, I have make that reiterate: don't build your identity on this, because if so, then you need everybody to agree with you, and you don't. Everybody doesn't have to understand what your journey is, and you can honor your journey and not fit in the boxes that are given to you by society, and not need society to co-sign that that's okay. It's really dangerous to build your identity on things. We've
Yeah,
all
Right.
built our identity on addiction, at times.
yeah, absolutely. It goes by what's your definition of success? I mean, is
Mm,
it 5,000 views, 10,000 views, or is it just reaching one person that's watching and
yeah.
giving them the courage, that little glimmer of hope that they realize, hey, maybe I can do this. Maybe I
Yes.
can stay sober a day, 2 days, 3 days. It's just putting that out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will say I don't know if I think Brett. I don't know if you do with recovery survey, but I like with like the Way Out podcast how we record. We record it and then it goes to post production and it gets edited and the the little bits and pieces and sponsored things and everything get added in later and you can edit things because I mean it's basically like you can do it on your own schedule.
Hmm.
If I'm really feeling it, like I'm feeling on fire, I could go hard in the paint, make a bunch of stuff, and
Mm,
then I can take months off from it if I want. You know what I mean? Like
that's really good.
it just it's more flexible, for when life gets lifey, you
Yeah,
know. Because
that's really
my
good.
biggest concern is I just want to like if I'm putting something out there, I want to put out a good quality
Yes.
information and a good
Hmm.
product that's practical and people can hopefully provide some tips or tools that they can pick up and use today.
Yeah.
Um, that's the goal. So
Well, you
and
feel
I
the
can't,
authenticity. You
yeah, and I
feel
can't
that.
transmit it. I can't transmit it if I don't got it.
Right, right,
You know,
right, right.
so I got to be mindful of that too. If I'm feeling like shit, or like we were just talking about, if my ego is blowing up, finding my worth in this,
Yeah.
or I think I'm some kind of guru or something. But then, but then too, what with the downs too, like you got to honor
yeah,
whatever is going on
Yeah,
within yourself.
yeah,
yeah.
for
I
sure.
think I think that goes along with like what I was thinking when my hit my fifth year. Taking the year off. Just not being on screen or doing a gazillion podcasts. Promoting a book or whatever. It's just I just wanted to be just a little bit more me. Behind the scenes. I've always thought of
Yeah,
myself as the guy behind the guy behind the guy behind the guy behind the woman then behind the guy. You know, you know,
that's awesome. Just I think that the authenticity of all of you guys is so strong, and I love it. I love to sit in a space with, authentic human beings, just here for the love of it. I like a lot of Tony Robbins stuff, and I think the reason that I like Tony Robbins a lot is because what seems to drive what he does is the passion for seeing people really, really, truly change. And that passion can really take you to successful places. But I noticed that in every talk that I ever watch or every one of his programs I've ever done, he's been always the same is the passion that seems to excite him about seeing people changed. And we touched on that here today already, is just seeing people even take one shred of resonance with a part of your story, either the struggle or the blessing or what came in between. And if that just to give them one little speck of hope, because every one of us sitting here have been so hopeless before and just needed a spark of hope, just one glimpse of
Mhm.
other people that can really can do this, and that say it's hard. Nobody's at all saying that it's easy and you're going to quit using whatever habit or substance it is and your life's going to get better, because that was one of the biggest lies that I bought in the way beginning of ever trying to, stop using. I've only tried recovery once, and it worked. I've tried clean and sober several times, and it just didn't work. Just didn't.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Mm.
I missed you guys.
I
Me
miss y'all.
too.
Need this.
Yeah. And I missed all you guys out there too.
Use guys.
Use guys.
Yeah. Well, should we wrap it up?
I
Let's
think
do it.
so.
Let's do it.
We appreciate
Do you
everybody that stopped by to listen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you remember how to do this part, Brett?
Nope.
Ah.
Not at all. I do remember thanking everyone that watched us on YouTube and reminding them
right.
to subscribe and turn on their notifications so they know when we go live, which is now every first and third Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30
6:30.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Mr. Jason Rudine, you have a podcast of your own. You kind of mentioned that.
Yeah, Way Out Podcast. We talk about recovery power topics, so we have guests come on and share their personal powerful recovery stories to help you find or jumpstart your own personal recovery. And don't forget, we have the Way Out playlist. It's exclusively on Spotify, though, so sorry if you don't use Spotify, but it's a curated list of songs that represent recovery to all of our amazing guests on the show. It's very eclectic. It's getting long, bro. I think it's like over a day worth of music now on there. It's crazy.
Noise.
Yeah.
LC, you have a show as well.
I certainly do. I've got the Recovery Soul Food podcast, where we just offer valuable inspiration, information, and motivation that just helps you get up from your give up and create a life you love. Come by for some healing. Live every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Recovery Revolution. Lona Curry at Facebook.com and Recovery Soul Food on YouTube. Come see us. Thank you.
JR, I'm going to throw you in the mix. Little curveball.
Noise.
JR doesn't have a
Right.
podcast, but he has a book.
Oh, hey. I
Hey,
think I
hey,
read that.
hey.
I think
And
I
it's
read
a
that book.
bestseller.
You want to tell us anything about your book, JR?
I wrote it in early recovery. It was the trials and tribulations of an addict on his journey to sobriety or recovery, pretty much. I mean, it came from the heart. I used to call it my hope manual when I was writing it.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Beautiful.
And I need to update that picture because now like the entire front cover of the book is just covered in awards. So that's a very
Yes.
outdated picture. I'm gonna throw that out there too.
It's a masterpiece.
It's
I-
okay.
Copy today.
I don't have it on my desk right here to hold it up like I used to. See, I'm slacking, man. I'm slacking.
Oh my God.
Slacking.
What do I pay you, dude?
God. Well, thank you guys again for joining us. We're back. We're a little rusty.
Yeah,
We're
that's
back,
all
baby.
Yeah,
on.
we're back. We're back.
Yes, on Amazon, Alexis. You can pick that book up on Amazon, right, JR?
That's true. That's true.
good.
And don't ask Alexa about J.R. Weaver.
I'm asking as soon
I
as I
just
get
found
off.
out. I just found out Alexa knows who I am.
Yes, she
Oh.
does.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Love
You
it.
guys take care of yourselves and each other
Yes.
out there.
Absolutely.
And
Thanks,
remember,
everybody.
progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Nice. Good job.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye,
God bless.
everybody.
Bye.